let's talk about what not to wear in 2021. And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, why should we listen to you, Lindsay? Because you are wearing a burgundy hefty bag. But you know what? That's why it's so important that you guys tell me in the comments if you agree with me or not. Okay, number one, and quite possibly the biggest offender, not just clogs, but Birkenstock clogs. On men, they've got to be the worst. Birkenstocks originally were a sandal, and then obviously people love them and probably called Birkenstock and said, hey, Birkenstock, do you have a winter option? So Birkenstock made a Birkenstock clog, which they shouldn't have. If it wasn't bad enough, I was shopping online, Birkenstock clogs with a rhinestone brooch on them. Like, oh, and leopard. You know, and I understand we live in a world where like, typically ugly things are now cool. Like I'm sure you've seen that. You guys, it's called like normcore and whatever. I am all about personal style. I just feel like these are hideous. And they're also $300. What? Okay, this is a new one that I've just found disturbing and I can't stop staring. You know people who wear the face masks, but they have like other faces on them? You know, it could be like a beard or lips or like even weirder, like a mouth open. I hate it. I just hate it. Some of these are so lifelike, like you're walking and then you just want to do a double take because you're like, are they doing something weird to me? Or, you know, and then you're looking and then they look back at you and then it's just awkward. And it's like, no, if you weren't wearing that scary, weird face mask that's looking at me weird, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable. I talked about this in my What Not to Wear 2020 last year, but I'm still seeing this around. Gucci Monogram belt. You guys, it's over. Cut. It is done. And I'm sorry for those of you guys who have it. This is just, again, my personal opinion. These are things that I'm just exhausted of and over, and I'm like, please, something else. But just put it in your drawer. I promise it's gonna circle back around and be current and like vintage again. I prefer a classic leather belt with a classic buckle, gold, pewter, silver, anything. I just feel like it looks more modern and sophisticated and not so like, I'm wearing Gucci. I'm wearing Hermes. Like, I'm also not a label girl or a label whore or whatever. I know that's a bad terminology, but you guys get what I'm saying. So, out with the gooch, please. So let's talk about neons. How do you guys feel about neons? I'm kind of over them. I have worn them many times. I have done style segments on many shows about wearing neon, but I feel like I loved it and I don't know. I'm not totally on board, but I'm seeing it a lot from the runways from last year, which is weird. We had runway last year, but yeah, they did release collections. I prefer like a bold primary color, like a rich, saturated, bright blue or green or orange or yellow, like a rich primary rather than like a hyper illuminating, shocking, electric, what other descriptive word can I say? Micro shades. You guys have seen those. Remember they had like a blip on the fashion radar. We saw them all over the place and all of a sudden we did it. Zero function. They're really just for you to sit back and like side-eye people like, and they're really just for like influencers who stand there and they're just like, so cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Hypebeast Fashion. I gotta say it right. Hypebeast Fashion. Think of like Supreme or Bape, those kind of brands. But aside from wearing the name brands, it's also just kind of like a style, like super oversized sweatshirts with big logos on them and like exaggerated sneakers and baseball hats. It is kind of like a fashion movement. But for me, this like extreme, flashy streetwear is definitely going to be something that we look back and think like, oh gosh, what was I wearing? Let me give you an example. You know, like Von Dutch, Ed Hardy. And remember early 2000s when everyone was wearing like rhinestone and studded everything? That's how I feel like we're gonna look back on this Hypebeast fashion trend, streetwear surge. I think a little bit goes a long way if you dabble in this. Anyways, just my opinion. Right, this next one is something that I'm seeing rampant all over Los Angeles. Men and boys and teens who wear jeans that are so tight, jeans that are so tight that when you look at them, you wonder how in the hell they put them on, like painted on. You see a lot of fit guys, I understand, working hard on the quads and the glutes, you wanna show them off, I get it. They just seem a little silly to me. truthfully, they don't seem stylish. They sure as hell don't seem functional or comfortable. Also, who wants to gamble like that? Whenever I'm wearing something super tight, I'm like, oh God, please don't let a seam split. Please don't let... You are gambling when you are wearing jeans that tight. I hope you guys don't think I'm an asshole. I'm just having fun here. These are my opinions. I mean, that's what's so great about having my channel is I can share them with you. But I gotta know what you guys think. Did you agree with all the things that I talked about? Please let me know. And also let me know if there's some things you've seen out in the wild that you hate as well as far as fashion, accessories, shoes, whatnot. I would love to hear. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, there's a fuzz. Thank you guys for showing up every week. Honestly, it means the world to me. I make these videos for you and only you. So please keep showing up and I will keep producing them. It's not really a production because it's just me, but I will keep filming them for you. So thank you guys so much. I will see you next week. Mwah.